Did Honda finally make the best hybrid in class? This is a 2025 Honda Civic Sedan Hybrid in platinum white over gray interior. I'm going to touch bases on some pros and cons, compare this to the competition, and I'm going to throw in a problem that I have with the vehicle. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and this year every trim gets standard LED headlights and daytime runnings. It's going to integrate into the grille that pops out more so with the Honda badging. The lower keeps the honeycomb design that goes into the air pocket, and when you tick the box for any of the sport trims, you get a little bit more of that sport essence on the exterior because it's going to be highlighted with the gloss black or matte black throughout the exterior. Underneath the hood is going to change the whole ball game for the Civic because we no longer get an Insight, which was one of the sweet spots because that vehicle a few years back, you could get it for like 20 grand. This is around 30 grand, but I'm all right with that because of the MPGs that I'm getting out of this 2.0 liter four-cylinder hybrid that produces 200 horsepower. That's right. That's a lot of horsepower out of a hybrid variant, especially for the size of this vehicle. With 232 pound-feet of torque, that's paired to an eCVT transmission. And because it's a hybrid, what are you expecting? 50 MPGs for the city, 47 MPGs for the highway. Now, in some forms, a problem that I have is people are saying they're not getting that. But you also have to drive the vehicle for a few thousand miles for it to get used to your driving patterns, and then your MPGs will increase. Going into the hybrids, all of them are 19-inch wheels, which can be a con in some categories because people like a smooth drive. If you want 16-inch wheels, you can only get in the LX trim, and then you're going to sacrifice with MPGs because the LX and Sport trim get the 2.0 liter. MPGs will drop to 31/39. Honda sensing is going to be on all trims with forward collision warning, lane departure warning, collision mitigation braking system, road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, traffic sign recognition, and traffic jam assist. But the blind spot informational system starts on the Sport non-hybrid. Rear cross traffic monitoring also starts on that trim. Low speed braking control is only on the Touring hybrid, as well as the parking sensors for the front and the rear. Auto high beams are going to be on all trims. Heated side view mirrors, but if you want the LED integrated turn signals, you have to go into the Touring trim. The nice thing with Civic is there's two options for the non-hybrid and two options for the hybrid in the sedan variant. And for the hatchback, you have three different trims, and it's actually going to be less money than this when you go into the base option for the hybrid variant, where this is the base option hybrid for the sedan. Standard LED taillights. The lower is going to get the matte black where the exhaust would be, but this is a hybrid. If you drop it to the Sport, you'll have dual exhaust finishers, so it'll look a little bit more athletic. But in the same aspect, you're not looking to put these type of vehicles on any type of performance track or anything like that. This is a day in and day out use. You're really trying to get the best MPGs. Now, going into competition, Toyota and Hyundai are going to be substantially cheaper, which is another problem that I have with this vehicle because it's literally the most expensive in class, and it's not the best MPGs. It actually goes into Corolla being better in MPGs, and even the Elantra gets better highway MPGs than this. You could go into a Sonata and spend maybe 2 or 3 grand more and get the base hybrid, and you would be a longer vehicle, more cargo capacity. I mean, let me know what you think about that in the comments. But then on a pro, I'm happy that this compact sedan has it because I don't have to go into an Accord in order to get better fuel economy. I can now tick the box for a Civic. Quick release going into 14.8 cubic feet of storage. Underneath the floor gets some more storage because we don't have the spare tire, but you can split fold the rear bench in the back at a 60-40 split, and that will maximize the cargo capacity to the Sport Hybrid Civic. The key fob for the new Civic Sedan Hybrid. Manual seat adjustment, cloth seats go all the way up into this tier. Heated front seats will be in this trim, but the Touring gets the leather wrap and the power seat adjustment for the driver. The The dashboard keeps the flat layout with the honeycomb design, gloss black elements. 7-inch infotainment screen is on all trims except for the Touring. They'll have a 9-inch with 12 speakers through Bose, including a subwoofer, whereas here you'll have 6 speakers and 180 watts. Let's fire it up. Now, when you think wireless, everything is going to be on the Touring, meaning a wireless charger, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM. Google built-in will only be on the Touring, but Alexa built-in will be on all trims with AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, we get a reverse camera. The trajectory expands. You can click on this little sub-menu to change the different layouts for the reversing with dual climate control settings that start on the hybrid trim. 4 speakers with 160 watts will be standard on the base LX. The gloss black comes into play with the honeycomb for the air vents, leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function. You get the paddle shifts for the regenerative braking. 10.2 digital reader will only be on the Touring. Otherwise, this is going to be a 7-inch TFT display that can go through an array of different content, and you can also change out the whole layout on that side. Leather wrap for here is on all trims. USB ports, 12 volts, and it's going to have this aluminum look that comes into play. No pass-through and no area to put like a sleeve for any mail or anything like that. This is going to be soft, opens up. It's actually a deep storage pocket. They threw in all the goodies from the PDI. You can also put this back here so it gives you more space. Auto dimming rear view mirror only in the Touring. Moonroof starts in this Sport Hybrid. The Sport trim underneath this will have red ambient lighting, and Sport pedals is in the Sport Hybrid, and Touring trim. Dashboard and door panel configuring together nicely. You keep the gloss black elements, one touch up and down for the front windows. You have soft materials here and where you rest your arms, with a medium-sized storage pocket and a larger area to open for the beverage holder. But a con to me is no rain-sensing wipers. You have to go into the Touring trim, as well as a sunglass holder. I mean, these are simple things that should be implemented. Headroom is good. Leg space is good as well. And one thing to note is it's not a driver-focused setup similar to the Elantra. So it makes it easy for everybody to play with this infotainment screen, but you have to go into the Touring for the navigation. Going into the back, this is the space to enter for 2 or 3 more, with cup holders and an armrest, no air vents, no USB ports, storage only behind the passenger. As for leg space, it's actually pretty good. Headroom, it cuts off a little bit here because it has this kind of sport design, so it just rolls around for the headliner. Door panel, this is what makes me upset. You're in the Sport Hybrid, don't strip out the gloss black. You've already stripped out the soft materials here. How much more inexpensive can you be? I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. Soft to rest for your arms with a smaller storage pocket. Sliding into the center, the floor isn't completely flat, sharing feet space, leg, butt, shoulder space. And because they're cloth seats, you actually sit down okay-wise, meaning you'll have a little bit more room for headroom, because in the Touring, where it's leather, the seats are a little bit more firm, so it'll push me up a little bit more so. 50 mpgs for the city, 47 mpgs for the highway with 200 horsepower. That's the best in class. This is literally one of the reasons why I think this is one of the best compact sedans out for a hybrid. With 232 pound-feet of torque, they did a great job with giving you performance and MPGs, but then they did a bad thing, raising the price so much, because when you're at these numbers, I hate to say it, you are at Accord numbers, as well as the Sonata and the Camry. And it shouldn't be the case when you're looking for a compact sedan, because I want something smaller than that. That's why I go this route. And then the same thing with the color. You only have 6 different color options, in which in the interior, you only have 2 options. And depending on trims, you might only have 1 option for the interior, as well as only having 5 total options for the exterior paint. Hybrid or no, this is what you get. I mean, they did an excellent job with a vehicle that is smaller. You can keep up with traffic. You sit a little bit lower to the ground, but I'm okay with that because I like a sporty design, especially because I'm in a Sport Hybrid. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. The looks, I get somewhat of performance, a lot more so than anybody in its class. and yet it's a smooth, everyday driven vehicle with excellent MPGs. Taking me to some pros and cons. The pros is there's only two ways to option this, so it makes it a little bit easier. The cons, you have to go into the top tier. You can't option features, which I feel like because they're separating it, meaning you get two options for non-hybrid and two options for hybrid, they should at least trickle down some of those features from the sport hybrid and the touring hybrid into the non-hybrid trim, because I'm all right with getting a non-hybrid as well. I think you have a sufficient amount of power with the vehicle. The comfort level is excellent. The sound deadening is also good. And either way you go, it's an everyday economical vehicle. And considering this is just around 3,200 pounds, that's insane for what they're giving you for a 64-36 weight distribution. Let's rock and roll. Doing that, and I still don't have to go to the fuel pump as much as any other car on the road. I like that. Smooth drive. The seats are actually the most comfortable in the Civic compared to Hyundai and Toyota. And Toyota is also going to be a little bit more tight in the back seat. Cargo capacity is going to be better here. Technology is going to be the best in Hyundai. But then you have that driver focus setup, which is why I would suggest looking at the Sonata, because it just feels a little bit more open for a few $1,000s more, and you're getting a lot more value there. Leading me to the biggest problem that I have. If you option a Honda Accord EXL Hybrid, you're gonna be about $2-3 grand more. And I get it, people in the comments might say, well, then you can get the top of the line Touring. I don't want the Touring, I want this trim. For $2 or $3 grand more, even added to that, you're gonna still get more features, a bigger screen, more room, and it's a smoother drive than this. So I'm not understanding what Honda was thinking adding the price so much. I understand the Insight was years ago, but inflation isn't $10,000 difference in price, and it shouldn't be that case. It is one of the best performance, sporty, and soft materials in the interior for its class. But at 30 grand, there's a lot of vehicles in this segment, and you can even go into a larger sedan, getting a hybrid, maybe even getting better MPGs. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Regal Honda for giving us this 2025 Honda Civic Sport Hybrid for our car review.